birthday, and today we're going to be reviewing the 2021 Jeep Grand Cherokee L, which means long, Overland package. Now, with this car, it has to be the most, technology-loaded Jeep ever made in the company. It's hit past at least. Now, in the 80s, they made Jeep, all their Jeeps were called square bodies, which means the body of the car looked like a square. But then they took it off and made it with the Cherokees you've been seeing, but then they brought the square body back. Now, if you have the L edition, which means long, you get a third row, which is really good, because, for a bigger family. Now, and this thing has packages like, it can go up and down, like raise itself, because it has airbags in it. Not the ones that pop in your face, but ones that, they're underneath the car that push it up and down. Over here, it has this little thing which squirts water into the reverse or any camera in the car, which is also a really good feature. But over here, one thing about them is when you lower the car, just for comfort, this car, it covers the wheel wells really well. The rims are enormous. They're 20-inch rims, which is pretty good and big. Big headlights. Another cool thing about, which I'll show you in a minute, it has night vision cameras. So you can be driving down the road, and on your display screen, if you hit a button, this will turn into a night vision camera, which can be very useful. You have big, wide, headlights. Oh, and another thing, because it has tow hooks, that means it's four-wheel drive. So you can tow it out if you ever get stuck, which probably won't happen because you can get another 4 inches if you raise it up, which you won't be getting stuck very easily. Now it has, those little rectangular, grill thingies. It's got a pretty sporty hood, which goes up. Now when you look at it at first glance, it doesn't really look like an off-roader because how low to the ground, street tires it is. But in reality, it's really an off-road car. It has the American flag thing, which is pretty good because it's an American car, It has cameras dug into the mirrors because when you go in reverse, it has one of those, it looks like it's looking down on the roof of the car, which can really help you out. You have big from here to there. These are enormous taillights. These are definitely over 2 feet long. I mean, it goes from almost the middle of the rear end to the back to the rear fenders. Now in here, if you take this little plastic thing off, there's a hidden hitch to hitch your trailers on. If you want to hit the boat. Your Overland badge, some reflectors, chrome all over it, which is good. You have two cameras. I mean, you have one right there, which can help you out because there's a button you can click which makes it look down. And then you have another camera here, so there's 2 cameras on the back. So depending on what angle you want to see, that could be really good. You have 4x4, 4x4. The car chooses to go in 4x4 whenever it wants. If it feels there's a lot of bumps and grooves and dirt, then it'll go off. And when you go into a certain mode, like let's say I put snow and mud or something like that, it instantly turns off the track because it's controlled by itself, which is also really cool. You got big exhaust. Now sometimes the exhaust can be on different sides of the car, kind of like I reviewed earlier. Its exhaust tank was on that side, so it really depends on the car. Now getting into the interior, one thing about it is it has a full moon roof, so it can go all the way back for the family if they want to see it. You have Macintosh stereo sets, which is a really good stereo. Now if I turn it on, it's quiet at first, but then again, it can make a really good noise. It might be hard to hear, but it's good. Like I said, so here's the night camera. So I don't know if you could look at this. If you hit that button, it goes to night vision. So that shows everything in front of this car turns into, night vision. So if you're driving down the road during night, that will really help you. So that'll help you a lot. You have a lot of little compartments for storage in your car. This button raises up and down the car. You have this thing, so look, if I go in reverse, or just anyway, whatever, I can hit millions of buttons that will make it where I can hit that button. There's so many different camera angles. Okay, so look, if I turn the wheel, it turns those guidelines. But if I hit the front one, it turns more guidelines left and right. And I don't know if you can see the screen or not, but this is the button that says clean camera. If you hit it, it shoots water onto our camera, which can really help out. If you're in like a deserty area. Yeah, so basically this car, it's and it adjusts this to your ride height. You can make, oh, and it has massage seats. So you can make an account onto this car. You put your name, so I put Dutch, and then I put what setting on the seat I want. So as soon as I turn on the car and say, put in my account name, it'll adjust to the seat by itself. You hit this button to, do the parking brake, and this car, it's just one ride, In the back, this is our camera bag, but you have more speakers and cup holders that make it more stereo set. You have that thing, which pretty awesome. It does blocks the sun, Now that we're pretty much to the end of the video, I want to show you how us raising it down and up. So focus on the rear and back wheels. Watch this. And it raises up. So that means when you raise it up to the max, you get an extra 4 inches of ground clearance, which can really help you if there's like a brick or something in front of you. It having lots of ground clearance can really help it out. But then when you get out, you can pretty much stumble on yourself. Basically, when you raise that thing up and put it in four-wheel drive, it becomes one monstrous off-roader. It's a comfortable SUV. It has many different personalities. It can be used for so many other things. It costs $65,000, which is, it can do a lot of the same things as a Lincoln Navigator can, which is one of the most luxury SUVs you can have right now in America. And for $30,000 less, you can have a Jeep Grand Cherokee L, which means longer, Overland edition. So this is probably the most luxury Jeep ever made. I am really happy to do this car, and and thank you for all the support that you've been giving my channel. And if you like the content, go to my TikTok channel called Dutch 55 Bel Air. Goodbye.